Good afternoon, friends. Let us dive into challenge to the abrogation of Article 370. Friends, on August 5, 2019, the Government of India initiated a series of measures that effectively abrogated Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, ending the special status accorded to Jammu and Kashmir. This controversial decision, executed during President rule, fundamentally altered the constitutional relationship between J&K and the Union of India. It also triggered widespread legal, political, and social debates. The abrogation process and its implications have since been challenged in the Supreme Court of India, raising complex constitutional questions about federalism, state autonomy, democratic representation, and limits of executive power. So, friends, this video will provide you an in-depth analysis of the facts, issues, arguments, judicial reasoning, legal defects, and broader inferences surrounding the challenge. Friends, let us first dive into facts of the case. Historical background. The genesis of Article 370 can be traced to the unique circumstances under which Jammu and Kashmir acceded to India. In 1947, as British India was partitioned into India and Pakistan, princely states were given the option to join either Dominion or remain independent. Jammu and Kashmir, ruled by Maharaja Hari Singh, initially sought independence. However, following an invasion by tribal militia backed by neighboring state, the Maharaja signed an instrument of accession, acceding to India in return for military assistance. This accession was limited to three areas: defense, foreign affairs, and communication. Article 370, included in the Constitution in 1949, formalized this arrangement. It granted J&K significant autonomy, allowing the state to have its own constitution, flag, and control over laws, except in the areas agreed upon during accession. Crucially, Article 370 was labeled as a temporary provision and could only be amended or abrogated with the recommendation of the J&K Constituent Assembly, which was dissolved in 1957 without recommending any change to the article. Then friends started the abrogation process. On 5th August 2019, the Indian government enacted a series of legal measures. First one was Presidential Order CO 272. It replaced the constitution applicable to Jammu and Kashmir Order 1954, effectively nullifying Article 350A and extending all provisions of the Indian Constitution to J&K. Resolution under Article 370, Subclause 3. Parliament passed a resolution recommending that the President declare Article 370 inoperative. Parliament passed a law bifurcating J&K into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir with a legislative assembly, Ladakh without legislative assembly. These actions were taken during presidential rule, imposed after the dissolution of J&K Legislative Assembly in 2018. So, friends, the issues raised in this case were abrogation of Article 370 has brought to the forefront several contentious issues. First one was the constitutionality of procedure. Did the process of abrogation comply with the requirements of Article 370 subclause 3, which mandates the recommendation of the J&K Constituent Assembly? Could the Indian Parliament act as a substitute for the J&K Legislative Assembly under presidential rule? Was Article 370 temporary in nature, or did it acquire permanence after the J&K Constituent Assembly ceased to exist in 1957? Impact on federalism. Did the unilateral abrogation and reorganization of J&K undermine the federal structure of the Indian Constitution? Why the abrogation process undemocratic, given that it bypassed the people and elected representative of J&K? Why the bifurcation of J&K into union territory constitutional, particularly under Article 3, which requires consultation with the state legislature? Did the abrogation infringes upon the rights and unique identity of the J&K residents, particularly those protected under Article 35A? So there were arguments also by the petitioner as well as by the union government, which was respondent in this case. Now, firstly, let us dive into arguments by the petitioner. Petitioners argue that Article 370, subclause 3, explicitly requires the recommendation of the J&K Constituent Assembly for any modification or abrogation. Since this assembly ceased to exist in 1957, there was no authority to recommend such changes, rendering the abrogation unconstitutional. The petitioners contend that the unilateral abrogation and reorganization of J&K violate the federal structure of the Constitution, which is part of its basic structure. The petitioner alleged that the Presidential Order CO 272 was an overreach of executive power, equating Parliament with the J&K Legislative Assembly to bypass constitutional safeguards. The petitioners emphasized that abrogation was executed during President's rule, denying the people of J&K their right to participate in decisions affecting their future. The petitioners argue that bifurcation of J&K into union territory violates Article 3 as it bypassed consultation with the state legislature. The abrogation has stripped J&K of its special status and exclusive rights under Article 35A, impacting its unique identity and the rights of its permanent residents. Arguments by the government. The government contends that Article 370 was always intended to be temporary and that its abrogation was a long overdue step towards full integration of J&K with India. The government argues that the abrogation followed constitutional procedure with Parliament validly acting as the state legislature under presidential rule. The government framed the abrogation as necessary for integrating J&K with India, promoting economic development and addressing security concerns related to separatism and terrorism. The government asserts that Article 3 of the Constitution permits Parliament to reorganize states, including the conversion of states into union territory. The abrogation is justified as a means to ensure equal rights, economic development, and uniform application of laws to the people of J&K. The Supreme Court's deliberation on the matter involved several critical aspects, including the interpretation of Article 370, subclass 3, federalism, and legality of state reorganization. Cited cases include landmark judgments on federalism and executive authority, such as Mumbai case, Keshwananda Bharti case. So, friend, this is brief summary. I hope you are enjoying my videos. So go on seeing, enjoy your life. That's all. God bless you all.